shop was started 2 years ago now by the owner Louisa. She basically at first was travelling around the world based on a couple of coffee shops she'd worked in sort of like the Australasian sort of coffee scene. So I've seen places like New Zealand, Australia. The coffee scene's a couple of steps ahead of what it is in England. More focused on like specialty coffee, different brew methods. So from that she wanted to open up something like that, but over here. She'd worked in a cafe in New Zealand, in Taronga, called Little Long, and basically she really liked that and enjoyed like the barista scene and everything that sort of came with that. So she decided she obviously wanted to open up a coffee shop. And from the very start we found that there was lots of different people coming in, asking about different coffees, wanting different coffees. So I think the coffee community is really quite strong in Lancaster. Everyone's very open-minded and will always go to new places and also go to lots of different places as well, like spread out the business. So they'll think, well, I went to say the Herbarium last week, I wrote to Brew this week. In Lancaster for 10 years now, it is a very strong community. And I think the students have been a really, really important part of Lancaster. It has been really important for a long time, I feel. And it's not really just from, some people have just looked at it from just like, oh, well, students come in and buy stuff. I think it's a lot more than that. I think you always benefit from having people from lots of different places. I always think that enriches the place. It makes it more like exciting, makes it more vibrant. And then also with the different people coming from all over the world for the uni, I think what you then find is other businesses open sometimes to cater for them, which then makes Lancaster as a whole better. The biggest difference between us and them, one would obviously be is we're independent. We can change things we want to change, whether that be a bar routine, a coffee we want to use. Whereas, say, it's like a franchise or something, they would do it how they're told. All the baristas there will have like the routine of how those shops want it to be done. We can specify how things are, and we don't have to follow any sort of a hierarchy or anything like that. I mean, to us, everything we buy to the best of our ability is local. It's something from the local community, whether it be our dairy, we use the dairy milk we use, the fruit and veg supplier, it's all within local, the bread supplier as local as it could be, and you're supporting the community. At the moment it's improving like by every year with things like the park and ride. The transport links for like the uni are huge. There's loads, obviously there's like a bus every 15 minutes. Coffee community in general, something like I touched on before, like the Edinburgh Coffee Festival, something like that for Lancaster, perhaps not focusing just on coffee, perhaps focusing on local businesses in general, would be something that would be really good, just to perhaps when the students first all arrive, or some timing around that, having some sort of festival of perhaps just all the independents or all the independent shops in Lancaster. The big difference in making a coffee, say, at home and in like a restaurant environment is you've always got the element of speed that you need to do it. Like at home, you can take as much time as you want, you don't have to bother taking anything else into account who you're working with, things like that. When it comes to like a cafe environment, you've got to sort of balance between doing things correctly and putting care into the drinks you make, but also there's got to be a speed element there. So you've got to perhaps speed certain bits up. So that's always the main one, because you'd like to sort of spend ages over every drink, take over to the customer, have like a little conversation, things like that. And you can always do bits of those, and sometimes in the day you have the chance to do that. Sort of things you do at home, the fun things you do, trying like ridiculous latte art or brewing it for just like 10 more seconds, just to get it absolutely correctly. You just got to sort of get that balance.
Thank you for having me, Stephen. Thank you.
Cheers.